Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Zwift Live broadcast of the Zwift Racing League. We are into race number 5 in round 3 of the 2022-23 season. I'm Nathan Guerra. Dave Towle is next to me, and he is in Seattle at the Metier Zwift Experience. It's going to be pretty awesome to be broadcasting that event that has, well, we've got two things going on with that event. Right now, we have a team time trial going on live there as well with some Zwift HQ individuals racing in the America's Open B. But we also have the head-to-head rivalry that we've been watching and all of the America's Women's that has been happening as well in the America's East. A lot going on. Dave, I hope we got you on audio. I'm just going to double check with you here. Yep, we got you. Wow, you sound great. I was like, are we going to be able to do this? And we pulled it off. This is absolutely awesome. It's great to have you here traveling all over the country today to get ZRL as well as this Metier experience happening.
Nathan, I can't thank you enough. To tell you the truth, everybody around me has been like, wow, what a rock star. You have done a tremendous job today. So you know what? The Mutual Admiration Society is in full effect. I've got another one going on right next to me here. Steve Beckett looks to be the team captain with the Zwift HQ Rockets. He's barking out orders. The other guys riding along. We've got Eric Min, our co-CEO here, and then Andrew Putt, who looks to be one of the cornerstones. Nathan, I didn't realize how much these guys communicate with each other during the event. But obviously they're in together, in person, 3 of them here. Just really quickly, Nathan is obviously in Wisconsin. We're here in Seattle, Capitol Hill to be exact. It's a classic Seattle February evening, a little bit of drizzle. It's perfect Zwift weather, to tell you the truth. Metier is a gentleman's cycling club. It's a bike shop. It's a coffee shop. It's really anything a bike aficionado just dreams of being in a place like this. So you can get your bike fixed. You can buy a bike, but really it's about bike culture, just like we are on Zwift.
100%.
So there's all kinds of things going on.
Sounds awesome there. And actually, that was one of the first KOM experiences that I was a part of. Super amazing place to go. If you want to check it out, they're just putting in. And we'll get you some images here real quickly. Actually, we'll take a look at that in a little bit here. Let's get into the women's racing, though, because that's really what we need to be highlighting up front here. What's been going on with these ladies, why we've been highlighting them. Here's the current standings as they are for the ladies. America's East. For Division 1A, it is going to be Virginia's Blue Ridge 2024 at the top of the leaderboard, but it is only a 2-point spread right now between them and Riot at 77 points. Velo Optimum, the new startup, the green team on the course, they have been new to the Zwift Racing League, at least at this level, and they have shown up and are sitting in 3rd place currently, putting Aeonian Dynamas into 4th right now. It's going to be ATB Racing Stingers tied for 5th and 6th place with the On the Rivet Cinderellas. AF Solstice and LaColle Wonder Women, followed up by Royal City East WA. That is the current situation for this Zwift Racing League. Let's get right out on course here, Dave. What is the course that we are looking at today?
Yeah, thank you, Nathan. It's RGV, Route Grand Vitesse. This is a classic team time trial course. It's just under 25K of racing. The feature is the Aqueduct KOM, relatively flat out here. As we were talking about in the broadcast earlier today with EMEA, this is my dream team time trial course. It's true to the discipline, that's for sure. Martin Carew is with us here from WTRL in Seattle as well, and he's nodding that absolutely this is as straight ahead as they get. So, Nathan, for our teams out here earlier today, we saw some tricky sectors there. The intestine, it was hard for teams to stay together. So it's not like this course has no challenges on it, but it is a true test for our team time trial squads. There's got to be a lot of pressure tonight on the Virginia Blue Ridge team because they can put a signed, sealed, and delivered on this season with the win out here tonight. If Riot can step up, when you were looking at that points table, Nathan, it really looked to me like it was a tale of 2 seasons now. The race between Riot and the team we've got on screen right now, Virginia Blue Ridge, is going to be the focus, but then there's that grouping of teams that'll be fighting for the 3rd spot out here as well. What a unique night. I've got the Zwift HQ Rockets right next to me. They're in the pen getting ready to hit out. And here we are with one of the top teams in the world right now, and this is a woman who's got a great
What?
shot at
Look
the
at
World
Kristen.
Championships.
Kristen just got off her bike. She needs to clip back in, jump back on here. This might be a major upset here if she needs to get back on
I've never
terms
seen
here.
this.
Dave, I think it might have been her. She has a puppy, Coco, right? A puppy. She has a dog, I think, that may have been causing her a little bit of trouble here, or something was going on the side of the bike, Dave. But this is one of your situations where it's a technical and jumps right back in. It looks like Lawson taking over to the front Steinmans, but they got to hold up for just a second, and that is going to give the likes of Jackie Godby a whole lot to work with here as they are on the chase. The Riot 2024 rivalry in full effect right now.
Nathan, get ready. This is going to be an absolute Donnybrook out here tonight. I mean, Kulczynski coming off the bike now. I have a feeling that you're right, just trying to figure out what was going on there. I don't think it was a bike problem. It looked like something, like you said, maybe with a dog leash getting tangled in a crank, something like that. Kulczynski is so strong that she comes back to the team and then goes flying by. So not too surprising there. They'll get things settled back out. Kristen Kulczynski, again, is one of the top athletes in the history of esports. She is in that elite tier of the greats already. So this is obviously good for Riot, Nathan.
Yeah, I would definitely say definitely good for Riot. Now, what's interesting here, Dave, I absolutely love what Riot has provided for us, actually, as we have going back to Kuntz here, taking over toward the front of the Riot team at this point. We are out on this RGV course. But, Dave, this is pretty cool to see. It looks like Anna Russell is jumping in, but she is not racing tonight. I think she may be taking the night off. And in the team car, Anna Russell on the team car, hanging out in the corner here, and they've actually jumped into the Zoom with us and is giving us a view here of how things are playing out for them as she gives directions. So really great to see Anna Russell jumping in with us out here tonight. Not racing though. So you want to give, for those that might not be familiar with, with those that are with the ZCL broadcast right now, but we are also broadcasting at the Metia right now. Dave, who is Anna Russell to esports so people have an idea?
Yeah, well, one, she's a wonderful human being, a mom of three, a professional triathlete, our colleague. And Nathan, I think it's fair to say I hold herself, yourself, and Eric Schlange as the greatest minds in esports right now. She is one of the people I have a tremendous amount of respect for. So I'm surprised to see her not start. I'm wondering, Nathan, who took the start for the squad? So we know that Kuntz is out there today. That's Madeline Kuntz. Did Christina Grossman start? I've got her. Yes, she did. So Christina Grossman bringing some horsepower to the team today. Jackie Godby is here. Christy Tracy, that's phenomenal. Lovingly we call Christy Tracy the Watt Zombie.
Yeah, good point there, Dave. And I think Christy here jumping in with us tonight, which is really great to see actually after having coming back and recovering from injury recently. Great to see her on the bike so quickly and ready to go and racing at this level as well, Dave. This is an insanely high level to be jumping in at after taking down such incredibly hard injuries. It just goes to show the kind of grit that this team has.
I agree. And I don't want to leave out Megan Rathwell, the Canadian, Nathan, but that's very well put. If we had grit is a positive attribute for a person to have, and I don't know of anyone that has more grit than Christy Tracy. So it would fit. She's Texas tough, that's for sure. So this is Riot, Nathan, that we're in with. I'm seeing 5, but I think, yeah, there we go. The 6th rider just off the front. We saw this a lot today, haven't we, Nathan, with teams that normally ride maybe a little more organized, something about where we're at in the season, motivation, fitness levels. Riders who are doing worlds are really on a different plateau at this point, it seems, than the rest of the field. Jen Reel as well. I'm going to see Jen in a couple weeks at a race in Texas. She's been a really fun story to watch as well, Nathan. Someone who works hard on Zwift and is really applying that in real life gravel events that she does.
100%. Now, taking a quick look at the times as they do come in, Riot are keeping them within striking distance, Dave. And this is the big deal with this, because if they are able to take the win today, that puts them still within tying range, Dave, or outright win, depending on how Virginia's Blue Ridge 2024 end up in the final. And with the final being a points race, that tends to be where Riot do excel. If Riot can beat Virginia's Blue Ridge 2024 on their own land, within their own playground here, Dave, which is usually the team time trial. They're going to really show themselves the one to beat out at the end of this season and probably have a lot of wind in their sails to try and catch up in these point standings, being 2 points behind at this point in the racing.
Riot was one of the original super teams, Nathan. If you look back, they had a dominant run. And then as the other teams started leveling up, and I must say, we've seen a real renaissance with the Virginia Blue Ridge 2024 team. They have really found their groove at this point, and they're in command position. Today is a day that Riot will look to create an upset. We saw a big one earlier today, Nathan. That Aeonian ride that we witnessed was one. They beat Wahoo Lacole, who hadn't missed a step for, I believe, Nathan, they were on a 10-12 race win streak, and it was ended today. And it really speaks to how competitive all of these leagues are. Another professional triathlete here, Christy Tracy, who's become a gravel racing star. And again, she's taking some big pulls out here. But Jackie Godby, everything hinges on Godby's ride today. If Riot, Nathan, is going to beat Virginia Blue Ridge, it's going to be the Jackie Godby effect, in my mind, that would be what puts them over the top. By the way, the Zwift HQ Rockets are looking good over here. They're finding their rhythm right now, getting a crowd down here in Metier. So
we can jump in with those boys for just a moment, actually. It is going to be the Rockets. Here we go.
Oh, there they are. So that's Steve Beckett that we're talking about right now. Steve is, I would say, the cornerstone of this squad. Eric Min, our co-CEO, and that's part of the excitement, as Kurt Beidler is here with us as well. We're going to be announcing or having a great night doing all things Zwift. But wow, Eric Min looks fantastic tonight, taking some long, hard pulls at this point. That's going to be Rider 6, Eric Min, that we're in with now. You can see on cam is Steve Beckett. There's the smiling face of Eric Min. That man is a wattage cottage. Do not let that smile fool you. We did notice as well that Steve Beckett travels with his own Zwifting towel. He brought that up from Los Angeles. That's how seriously they're taking it. So Zwift HQ, again, these are the Rockets. I got to give a shout out to Andrew Putt as well. Andrew's the guy that put this whole thing together up here in Seattle and has been racing extremely well for this team. He's been gathering quite a few points for that squad, and that's going to be Andrew Putt right there, the pride of Park City, Utah. They're actually working on a statue of Andrew to put up in the town square as we speak. So he's a popular cat up there in one of America's favorite ski destinations. You know who else is here with us right now giving the guys some advice? This is an unfair advantage. Rasan Bahati is here encouraging the team. The other teams are going to be up in arms when they hear that Bahati's actually giving them advice. He's team time trial whispering stuff to them. I don't know what he's saying, but Eric Min is fired up.
So I want to know, is it working though? That's going to be my question. Is it helping? Because what do you think of the organization of the team currently? It looks to me like they've got the two up front with the drafting behind here at this point with their organization, Dave. Does CHQ know how to put things down in comparison to a Kristen Kolchinski in 2024 as far as their organization within a TTT? Have they done their Zwift Insider homework is the question.
Right before the start of the race, it was like Braveheart. Steve Beckett yelled out to the team, "Let's go!" And the guys rallied together. So clearly he's the motivating factor for this squad. Putt is more of a workhorse, I would say. They go to him when they need some horsepower. By the way, if you're a fan of WTRL, Martin Carew is in the house. He came down from Calgary in Canada to join us. So all things ZRL in full effect. And Eric Schlange is here to make sure that we all know what's good and correct in the world of Zwift. It's so much fun. And they're all now gathering around. I see Eric giving some tips to Steve Beckett now as he's moving over to that side of the team. Beckett now deep in the pain cave, looking for a few more watts. Again, these guys have had a tremendous season. Nathan, thanks a lot for making the effort to get this all set up. We are absolutely loving it here. Going back to pick up the women, and I'll throw it back to you as Kolchinski looks to be safely back with the team. Hopefully we'll get some time splits coming from out here, Nathan, because they're already almost 2/3 of the way into the Route Grande Vitesse out here today.
Yeah, and it looks like Kolchinski now is definitely not James Barnes. That James Barney one likes to show up once in a while. It looks like it's Kolchinski continues to take over 4.7 watts per kilogram. That's because later today we will be having James Barnes on the broadcast. Now, Emily Ehrlich, actually, great to see Ehrlich taking a solid pull at the front here, Dave. This is a rider that's been, newer to the broadcasts at least, but she has really been a rock star as of recently. Last week in the sprinters, delight that we had out on the Neon Flats in Yokio, taking that final sprint. She took down so many points for Virginia's Blue Ridge 2024, and on a course where I thought Riot was going to be dominating, she was the force that came up against what seemed to be an immovable rock.
Yeah, I would say that as far as progress goes and riders doing their work, Emily Ehrlich deserves some kind of Rider of the Year award for what she's done. She's a very accomplished in real life rider, but just seeing her step up in Nathan, it takes a little bit of time to understand what Zwiftcraft is and how that works and how you can be an incredibly strong bike racer in real life and not find immediate success in Zwift because you have to understand how this operates. And I again, am very, very impressed by her capacity to take on so much in such a short time. So, Emily Ehrlich, you've been very, very impressive. And I think that was exactly what Kristen Kolchinski was looking for, Nathan. One person, that's the beauty of what they've set up with WTRL, is it's not a league that's built on individual stars. It's a league that's built around teams and team depth. And Kolchinski really needed more depth, and she's got it now.
100%. Now jumping on in with the rest of this 2024 team to get some highlights here. Marilyn Lawson, another rider here. Definitely be watching out for. It's really great to have her in and on the broadcast here with us as well. Lawson here hammering away for Virginia's Blue Ridge 2024. And somebody who is also newer to this day, but she has also been able to really show that she has got grit. She has got the talent it takes to ride at this top level. And Dave, something's got to be said for the mentoring of this team. We bring this up, week in after week, but it really needs to be said that this team is really developing the future of esports on the women's side of things in a lot of ways.
I would highly recommend folks go watch the Nikki Cranmer interview on the Wrap with Nathan and Anna Russell, who we were talking about earlier. It's really insightful on what it's all about. And when you talk about mentoring, that's been really the greatest strength that we've seen from Kolchinski. Not only is she a great racer, but she has been very welcoming on this team and helping the riders figure out the nuances. It's not an easy path to racing at the highest level as far as dual recording and understanding what's required of you. It can be stressful. It's worth it in the end so that you can assure fairness. But the process is challenging, and having someone to help walk you through it is great. And Kristen's done that for quite a few of these women. I saw Nikki asking or mentioning that she deserves credit for that. And I completely agree. Let's take a look at these times now that we've got. So this is going to be the second of three splits. 18K is the final check we'll have before they finish at just under 25 kilometers of racing out here. But it looks like Riot does have the fastest time. It's not by much. 1 second is the difference with ATP Racing Stingers. Yeah. I appreciate the sound effect there, Nathan, because it's what this season has been all about. A 1 second difference at check 2. You do not get a better race than what we've got going on right now. So, Nathan, 1 second separates them. The Aqueduct KOM is the decisive feature out here. This is bananas out now, and you've got ATP Racing Stingers and the Aeonian Dynamos sitting just 1 second behind them. Everybody is within 30 seconds out there at check 1. We got ourselves an absolute Donnybrook going on here today at Route Grand Vitesse. And I tell you what, the sweat is absolutely pouring off of the Zwift HQ Rockets. As a matter of fact, they have ignited and now are down to just the space capsule on the front. It's all business out there, Nathan, as they are looking to go 2 for 2 in team time trials this season. But back to the women, as they're coming up on 18.5K in. It's going to be a fast time here, so we'll have these checks to look at 18K. Martin's going to be happy to hear that data is coming through quite nicely, so that's good to see these splits. Riot, fastest time, but Nathan, by the slimmest of margins out here.
Yeah, this is so close, Dave. And as you can see in the riders nearby list there, Christy Tracy pulling 6.1 watts per kilogram right now. Absolutely flying on the front with the Mohawk, Dave. They are motivated. They want this one, and they want to keep that number one spot. You see that right there, Dave? That is not what we saw at the beginning of the broadcast. What we saw at the beginning of the broadcast was VBR 2024 at the top on the series, but Riot now, they want to hold on that top spot for that 18-minute marker here, Dave. Can they do it? And right now, they are pulling this off. They are actually bringing back 6 seconds at this point. If you look at live times on the right-hand side, they may be pulling this off today with Anna Russell in the DS spot. That may be absolutely crucial for them as well.
Nathan, I've always said that hunger is the best sauce in the world. And out here, this desire to win is going to be the extra watts that they needed. Riot is riding with motivation that we've never seen before. Pride is a huge factor in racing. There's no doubt about that. And I think that maybe, I'm not going to say that their pride was hurt, but they show up to win. And they haven't quite had the results they're looking for. Today is a statement ride from Riot. The Empire strikes back here on Route Grande Vitesse. Let's see if they can hold it, though, because Kolchinski's going to take some monster pulls out here. I think it's interesting. You've got two in real life good friends, Kristen Kolchinski and Christina Grossman, racing against each other out here today as well. Our two New York-based women in this throwdown tonight. Back to you, Nathan. Is Riot having their best ride of the season right now?
Grossman here, as you can see, set up on this KDX, which is the fastest TT bike in the game at the moment. And she does have the 858 wheels. Pretty expensive setup she's got. She's always been rocking up. Anna's not necessarily cool with the glasses she's been showing off with, but I think she'll be happy with the time so far and let her get a pass on that one as they continue to hunt down. Now,
don't give her a pass.
No pass? No pass on
the
that
amount
one.
of criticism on fashion that we've gotten from Anna. I think that, you got to give it like you get it. Right? I don't like the glasses either. I'll say it. Now I'm going to get roasted on the wrap.
Yeah, you're gonna get some pretty serious feedback on that one. Now, Dave,
there will be
Optimum
repercussions for these statements.
We had a highlight actually from the broadcast on Optimum specifically because they are the greener to the world of TTT and the world of Zwift Racing League. Have they figured out how to pull off a TTT, Dave? Because there's one of our viewers, Nat from chat over on the Wrap, had said that their TTT tactic was group up and go mental. That's essentially what their tactic was, which isn't really a TTT tactic. It's just
I don't know.
And that was kind of how it was explained last time we saw Optimum take on the team time trial, was maybe there was a lot of matching of watts per kilogram of fighting each other. Have they figured it out a little bit better is going to be a question because they've got the power, I think, to match at this top level.
This is absolutely hysterical right now. We've got Martin Carew and Eric Schlange here urging on the Zwift HQ Rockets. You got two of the greatest minds in esports hanging out right next to him. I don't know if they're using the group up and go mental technique over there. I think that they're a little more sophisticated than that. They don't seem to find that funny at all. So we're going to say that group up and go mental is not an approved technique by the Zwift HQ Rockets. Maybe it works for the Canadian ladies. I'm glad to see they're having success out there. And to tell you the truth, there's more a delta for gain with the Canadian women than the Zwift HQ Rockets, I'd say. The Rockets have been at their limit for a while out here. It's what I love about this, Nathan. I've never seen a team in real life. They're communicating quite a bit out there. Andrew Putt's been doing a lot of work, but I got to give credit over here to these women now as we're looking at a team that will be a force in esports for quite a while now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to call this Canada's team.
Absolutely. They've been one of the top teams as of recently and showing up later in. Now, look at this. They have stretched it out a little bit here, Dave. I wonder if this is.
Oh, my gosh.
Heading.
Nathan, can you
like
tune
they're
in?
Trying to? Go ahead.
I was going to ask if you could come over and join our camera here. They're making an on-bike adjustment. Martin Carew is on his knees now, trying to make a saddle change here So this is a critical moment. Beckett has been flogging himself like a rented mule for the last 5 minutes as his saddle slipped. He's had all kinds of equipment issues. They are now making an on-the-bike change. So again, Eric Schlange is documenting this for ZwiftInsider.com. We've got Martin Carew now scrambling to try to get a new saddle. Beckett is still up. I mean, this guy's going King Kong mode out there right now on the front of this group. So Beckett, this is the ride of the day. We have found our hero, Seattle. It's Steve Beckett in full effect. They've made the change. He stayed in the team. That's our ride of the night from Beckett here in Seattle. Oh, Nathan, unbelievable.
Nicely played there.
Nuts.
To get him back involved there in the race and not falling off at this point. Now, Dave, another conversation.
Any mortal man would have quit. Right, any mortal man would have quit, Nathan, but not Steve.
You can hear him in the background encouraging him on here at this point. Now, one of the conversations from earlier today, Dave, with Aeonian was a conversation to be having. And what we see here with Angela Roberts, Cassie Nelson, Katrina Weiss, this is not what you want to see when it comes to a team time trial, now is it?
No, and the problem is 3 is not the magic number. We start with 6 on the teams, but 4th rider is where you take your time. So they are the riders right behind them, Aeonian. I believe there's 2. So I think that they're going to be able to fix this, or am I wrong? I thought I saw that they might have. Yeah, is that the 4th rider? So they really should wait.
It is the 4th rider. They have to at this point, Dave, because they can only finish with 4. The sad thing is, Dave, is that they were on such a good day. They have closed down massive amounts of time on the riders that started ahead of them. It was Optimum that was trying to take them on. As you can see here, though, at this 20, it looks like 24 minutes or so for the Aeonian Dynamas here. It looks like 23:59. Aeonian, we're on the chase here, Dave, but now it looks like they're going to suffer for this as Optimum here are going to bring back that 3 seconds just barely. But now all back together here. Lots of ground to cover still, but Optimum, will they be able to hold them off? It is a 4-second difference now between Optimum and the Aeonian Dynamas.
Boy, and this will be fun to watch to see what they can do. So one thing is that they responded pretty quickly. I mean, they realized what was going on, and they didn't continue to make a bad situation worse. They were able to fix and correct that. So credit where it's due. Let's see if they can get their mojo back and start rolling back some time on these teams, because it's still relatively close when you look at the time splits coming in right now. That 21-28 from Riot is, we have a feeling that Riot is starting to roll away a little bit. ATP Racing Stingers having a great ride as they'll sit in 3rd right behind VBR 2024 on the Rivet. OTR, the Cinderellas, are sitting there within strike. It's very close. Every step you make your way up and down the ladder, teams have a chance to better their position or are going to have to fight to hold on to the spots that they've earned so far. I'll throw it back to you, Nathan. I'd have to say what we've seen so far, it looks like Riot is on a gold day today.
Dave, I got to look at this image here real quickly. Christy Tracy, look at the effort on this face. Look at how she is going. National champion kit here on, absolutely demolishing herself for the best time they could possibly have in the East here. Are they going to be able to pull it off is going to be the question. Tracy here to the line. Absolutely love these images as Jackie Godby takes them over the line. It is your first 4. Have Riot made it happen today? That's going to be the big question, Dave.
So, actually, we'll have an answer for you pretty quickly as VBR has finished now already as well. So those times are in the bank, and I am excited to see it. It's really
national champion kit here. Go ahead, Dave. Go ahead. Apologies.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, Nathan, this is what it's all about for us in esports. No matter which team takes the win here today, they all fought as hard as they could. Well, everybody comes out of this better. And Christy Tracy should be the poster woman for esports at this point. The efforts that she makes, the heart that she shows, she should be really proud of herself.
Shaking even, Dave. Look at her. Even, that was
you don't get more than that. She completely empties herself out. This is Andrew Putt. Andrew living in Venice Beach, California now, but as we said, he's the pride of Park City. And he's still taking some big pulls. How about the ride from Eric Min out here as well? That's going to be Andrew Putt. These guys have got, let's call it 8K to go at this point, Nathan. This is, though, now it's going to be mostly downhill, flat to a little bit downhill, so they'll carry some good speed through here. I would expect to see speeds going over the top of 50 kilometers per hour now. Again, this is our home team, Zwift HQ Rockets. A lot of these guys live in Southern California, or at least living there now, working with Zwift, and they've had a lot of fun with this through the years.
Look at Min, 5.5 watts per kilogram on the front. He looks like he's barely working. On that kicker bike there,
absolute monster.
What kind of training program has Min been on? I mean, he just took a pull at 5.5 watts per kilogram. Now 6.5 watts per kilogram to get back on terms. It's absolutely insane.
Eric Min is making over 6 watts per kilo. You want to talk about punching above your weight. What a ride from Eric. So he's obviously been training with Mathieu van der Poel, is what I'm thinking. I mean, these kind of numbers are off the charts. So Min has turned out to be the big star here in the final 10K right now. Our co-CEO at Zwift. You want to talk about a guy that, I was going to say walk it like he talks it, but pedals it like he pedals it. Eric Min is having the ride of a lifetime out here today for our Zwift HQ team. So watching that pace being set, these guys, are they down to 4, Nathan?
Looks like, yeah, they are going to be down to 1. No, they have 5. It looks like they have, right? Am I miscounting? Yeah, they have 5. So Put's there. Reedy's there, it looks like, as well as Andrew. And then it looks to be...
Oh, it is 5.
Yeah,
there we
Min
go.
is there as well as Alice Balk. So there's going to be 5 here still hanging out with them.
So the right now here in Seattle, we actually haven't even opened up the venue for the event. I believe the doors were to open at 5, but people have already been sneaking in. It's like the back doors of Yankee Stadium or something. People will find their way in to watch this Zwift HQ Rockets team race. It's starting to get loud up there as well, Nathan. We've got a lot more to look forward to, and wanted again thank you for all your efforts. That's Eric Min that we're looking at. These guys are deep in the pain cave, walking around without a flashlight at this point, just banging around, looking to find as many watts as they can. We have wrapping things up with what has been an incredible season. 1 race left for the ZRL, brought to you by WTRL. Nathan, I don't know if you have the ability yet. I am just so curious to see if Riot got the huge win out here today.
We're still waiting on that one. Alive. We're still waiting on that one, Dave. It's so close.
I'm impatient.
Extremely close. We can take a quick look here at the times as they currently sit. It does look like ZHQ Rockets are sitting in 4th place at this moment as we follow along with them. They are, at this moment, it is going to be 11 seconds behind Draft 3.2. Legrand Manzana are at 15:33, just a little ways behind them. Privateer ZCC, and then ZHQ Rockets actually in 4th place at 15:38. Still within striking distance, David. They start ramping things up. It looks like they lost Beckett, though, on the day. He took one last monster effort, perhaps, but it looks like perhaps now, Dave, it's going to be down to these 5 to try and bring back 11 seconds on the day.
All right, so the Zwift HQ team sitting in 4th place right now. Let's see if this crowd is going to start sending some energy their way. They're still in the hunt. We've got about 5K of racing out on this course that was developed for Tour de France, going back to the first year of COVID. This was a very interesting time in the world of Zwift when this world was released. And this course, the Route Grand Vitesse, the high-speed route, has become a very popular one. Little bit of a split right now.
Andrew and Eric are dropping. They're dropping everybody. You got to get back on terms here. If the CEO takes the poll, you better get on board here with it as Andrew Putt now takes over at the front.
Well, there's no worry about beating the boss in golf, right? I mean, it looks untouchable out here, finding some of the best form. Eric had a really cool racing career as a junior coming up in New York City when there was a thriving racing scene. I mean, when Eric was a junior, Nathan, they used to sell out fields of 150 riders, and I hope we can get back to that someday. That's certainly one of the goals with Zwift, is to get more people out on bikes. It looks like things are starting to come back together as they go inside of 4.5K of racing remaining. Is that a smile or a grimace on the face there of Andrew Putt? It's hard to tell.
I think definitely a smile at this point. Andrew looks like he's suffering a little bit of 172 beats per minute. That's interesting. Usually I can tell the difference between the two. I thought he was maybe taking it easy a little bit here, but he does seem to be working pretty hard. A 176. How is the air in there as well, Dave? They got some good fans going on at this point, or is it pretty stuffy?
You know what? I would actually say the air is better than you would expect, to tell you the truth. They've got some strong headwinds blowing, and the guys look to be actually, all things considered, relatively comfortable. It's starting, more and more people are starting to make their way. We're in the downstairs area. Metier, where we're racing now, is a bike club, is the best way to put it. This is Annie Poland with the OTR team that we're looking at, jumping back in with some of the, actually they've finished at this point.
Yeah, actually, a lot of the ladies are already finishing up their racing out here. Actually, I thought we were going to maybe be able to jump in with them and catch the back end of their race with the double coverage out here today, but it looks like no go on that for now. So we'll get back in with Andrew and the ZHQ boys here to give us an idea of how things are playing out for the rest of the B category for the racers out here. Dave, this image though here, we'll get this here in just a second with Christy Tracy and what she was doing there. Absolutely. Absolutely demolishing herself, Dave. This effort that you see from these riders, it gives you such an idea of what kind of dedication there is for this racing.
Well, and Nathan, I think that the thing that is really hard to express to people is how much it means to these athletes, how deep they're digging. And a lot of this has to do with not letting your teammates. That's the beauty of what Martin developed with WTRL, was the collaboration between these athletes turns into a relationship. And ultimately that relationship is turned into a bond and a friendship with a lot of these teams. And I think that's one of the secrets of the secret sauce of WTRL and ZRL racing. And Christy Tracy, that is, I would say, the best advertisement that we could have, Nathan. I mean, this woman has been left for dead, basically, after multiple times of getting hit by cars, getting broken hips, collarbones, scapulas. She comes back every time. And it's not what
they are demolishing themselves. How it ends up playing out with them.
Wow, the Rockets moving up into second place in their group. So they went down to fourth. They've got just under 2K left. Boy, I know they're hungry for the win. I have a feeling that they brought some good tactic and strategy to the start line. They're splitting again, though. Putt and Min have split the team again. They are monsters out here tonight.
Yeah, and it does look like they need to get things back together here because it is going to be after the fourth rider. They do have 5 to work with, though. They do have 5 to work with. If there's any kind of anything left in the legs here for some of these other riders that keep on trying to just get back on terms, they're going to have to really do what they can. Maybe drop one rider off at this point and just one last-ditch effort to the line.
Yeah, I mean, Nathan, that would be the technique. The execution of that technique, it's easier said than done. It takes a lot of courage from that rider to sacrifice themselves because it's really going to hurt, no doubt about it. But it's going to be the difference out here, no doubt about it. Typically, that rider's going to be the one that's on the ropes, the one that's struggling the most. We're just looking to get one last effort out of you and see really if we can squeeze just a little more blood out of that stone.
And it looks like Putt here now making big effort on the front now to try and bring things back as Min closes it down. And again, the rest of the ZHQ just struggling to hang on. The pressure is on here between the riders as they look to try and close down these final seconds, Dave. We saw, though, just a moment ago, here's the current situation. It is going to be ZHQ Rockets in third at this point. Can they bring back that kind of time? 23:36, 23:40 gap here now. 13 to the win. 10 seconds to second place here for them. What can they do in the final kilometers?
Yeah, and it's all about the fourth rider here. So let's see if they can get that fourth rider up into the slipstream. They're going to run out of real estate very quickly. Draft, got to give credit where Draft is concerned, with a fantastic ride today. Will it be enough? They're in the command position. It's going to be Legrand second, and Nathan Privateers for fourth right now. This is it. Finishing up strong. Our Zwift HQ Rockets are done and dusted here. Nice round of applause for them here at Metier. So will they hold on to that third place spot? It looks pretty likely at this point. Again, big thank you. It's been awesome having Eric Min with us here, flying into Seattle this morning, as we have all of the top brass here for a special event at Metier tonight here on Capitol Hill.
They obviously
Seattle.
look at that.
Party
look at that, Dave. There's actually a lot of like the how into it they are.
The debrief.
You can see that. Yeah, the debrief afterwards. I mean, it's really great to see that they loved to race their platform as well. But let's get back into the women's racing here. What has happened between Virginia's Blue Ridge 2024 and the Riot team? Velo Optimum as well. Dave, this is the results. Take it away for us.
All right. I'm on pins and needles as Nathan does the big reveal. Oh, wow. They came back and won. Virginia Blue Ridge is on an incredible season. Even with Kulczynski having to hop off her bike and deal with some on-the-ground issue, they still come back and win. This team, Nathan, is absolutely phenomenal this season. They've been phenomenal all along, but they really found their rhythm. Riot with a well-earned second place. What I love about Riot is that they've got heart. And that's something that you can't train, Nathan. You can't coach that. It's ingrained in you. You either have it or you don't, and those ladies have it, and they'll have their day. Velo Optimum CC, this is our Canadian friends that we've been so impressed with. Nathan, they're figuring it out. Third place out here today. That's, for them, that's a marked improvement. It's noteworthy that they're now sitting 30 seconds behind Riot. They're getting closer, becoming more dangerous every week here in the ZRL. ATP Racing Stingers in fourth. On the Rivet Cinderellas for fifth. Aeonian Dynamis, sixth place today. It's Abscape Finesse, Solistics in seventh. Lacole, the Wonder Women, in eighth. And then our friends from Guelph, Royal City East. WA taking ninth here in one of our favorite leagues.
What a race here between all of these riders. Nicely done. We'll take a quick look at how things have played out then because of these results here with the overalls. Let's go ahead and get an update on this. And as we do, here will be the big reveal on it. And it looks like Virginia Blue Ridge 2024, after another win, have distanced themselves another 3 points, Dave.
99 Luftballons. That's as close to perfect as you can get without being perfect for VBR. Riot sitting 3 points back. So it's going to take not a complete collapse, but Riot's going to need some help if they're going to win now with one race remaining. They're going to need, if they win the final race, they would need to see Virginia Blue Ridge finish outside of the top five. And it doesn't seem too likely to me. Riot is still in the mix, though. And then we look at that next battle there, Velo Optimum with their great ride here today. Canada, great job off of their junior women taking first and second for Canada in Cross Worlds. They fired up there up north. So Velo Optimum for third, ATP Racing Stingers in fourth, Aeonian Dynamis in fifth, the OTR Cinderellas, that's on the Rivet, in sixth, Abscape Finesse, AF Solistics for seventh right now, and this is after 5 of 6 races here in Season 3 for the ZRL, with Royal City holding their own with 61 points in ninth. But those battles there, Nathan, starting to become a little more clear. I think that the real hot spot is going to be for fourth there with ATP, Aeonian, and On the Rivet basically tied.
Take a quick look. What exactly was going down here, Dave? As we had Kulczynski actually earlier during the race. Not something that you usually see. A quick little jump off. Looks like looking off to the left here, and this is kind of like your moment where there's a tire change or something.
Right.
When it comes to racing in real life, look to the left. Look to the left. What's going on? What is happening with I think it's got to be the puppy, right? Like if
it's funny you say puppy. I think Moscow is
Moscow. Yeah, it's not a puppy.
Old.
Yeah, Moscow. A quick little jump off. That probably right there, Dave, was why we saw for a moment there the issue with you know, with the timing, perhaps. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. What I really like is you see how she stays composed here. I have a feeling Kolchinsky really turned a corner and a second. You know what? That's not the dog. That's something going on. I'll be very curious. We'll get an answer.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get an answer.
Figure out what was going
that
on
all
there.
about there? Interesting, very interesting. The other thing there, though, as well.
So what she's doing there is she's communicating with her teammates on Discord, right? A push to talk.
Yep, exactly. Push to talk on Discord. That's what's happening there with Kolchinsky, one of our top esports racers in the world, representing at the World Championships. So obviously, great job to them today. Now we'll see if we can get some results in as well from the ZHQ Rockets, what they just pulled off, because that was a really close race, Dave. And I think in the overalls for the league, I believe they may be actually leading the standings for the league at this point. So it's a big deal whether or not. Were they? Is that right?
Yeah, I believe they were coming into. So to be fair, we haven't been, and I really like the approach that Zwift Community Live has had with this season, where we've been following along with different groups through the whole season. This is the only time that we've seen them race out here. The Zwift Community Rockets, as we wanted to add this into the broadcast. So we haven't really, and this is exactly why it's been great to hold on to the plot line. So they did not have their best ride today, as they only finished 21 seconds back. Look how competitive this group is, with Draft 3.2 at 32:57, a very competitive time. Le Grand Manzana is only less than 4 seconds back. That is close, with the Rapid Rhinos 15 seconds back in third. Fourth is ZHQ Rockets, the team that we've been with here today. They're only 21 seconds back, puts you in fourth. There have been plenty of times, Nathan, where we've seen second place more than 30 seconds back out here. So really competitive group with GTE sitting just a few more seconds back there at 30 out in fifth. So that's a good look at the fun that they've been having. There's something close to just under 20,000 folks race in the ZRL. All the different, the A's, the B's, the C's, the D's, and everybody's got their story. But Nathan, I'll throw it back to you. It looks like Andrew Putt did enough to keep him on top of the table out here.
Yeah, and these are not updated. There are still a few of the teams finishing as of yet, but these are updated for those top 5 at this point. So for the top 5, this updated,
and those were exactly those top 5 teams most likely would be holding on to those spots. I would think it would be.
Yeah, ZHQ came in at 77 points. They were 4 points ahead of the Rapid Rhinos. Rapid Rhinos close it down to within 2 points at this after this result out here. So ZHQ Rockets need to be watching out for themselves. They're going to hold on to this top spot, Dave. And we'll see if they can pull it
one race left.
They seem. I wonder if the TTTs have been their thing. It looks like they won the first team time trial, actually.
Yeah, so I think this was probably a bit of a shock to them to have that kind of result. They're going to end up have a very competitive final race. They do have a little bit of wiggle room, unlike for the RR Rapid Rhinos, Nathan. They're basically going to have to win and have Zwift HQ fall down to about 4th place to have a chance, but that's not unrealistic. I mean, that's what happened today.
100%. Well, that's going to be it for our coverage for the Zwift Racing League part of our broadcast tonight. We are going to take a break. Our stream that's going out to Zwift Community Live is going to also be taking a break for about an hour. And in about an hour from now, we are going to get a first look at the Glasgow crit course that will be used in the World Championships that is coming up in a week and a half or so. That's going to be a lot of fun. We've got a lot of teams invited to it. Looks like we've got a pretty good sized group of some of the top esports, as well as some all-stars that'll be on site that we'll be having on camera as well. So make sure to watch out for that. In about an hour, we'll be live on Zwift Community Live, as well as over at the Metier. If you're in Seattle, you want to go check that out, head on over there. It looks like it's going to be an awesome party. You can actually see the people. You can hang out with Dave for a little while here before I get him back on the microphone as well. So Dave, It's been a lot of fun. The Zwift Racing League, the rivalry's been absolutely great to see. Riot's got a lot, though, to take care of, though, when it comes to the final. And 2024, they've got to get put on the back foot, going back to the racing we just watched and looking forward to next week, because they almost did it, Dave, but ended up 6 seconds short.
It's the real thrill is in the battle out there, Nathan. It is so much fun. We appreciate each and every athlete out there racing. And Nathan, I appreciate you. I give you a gold star for a very challenging day today. So keep it going there. I'm going to go say hi to some folks. Everybody's asking me how you're doing. So basically all I do is tell them that you're great. You're great, right? I assume.
Say hello to everybody, and we'll see them all.
We miss you.
Hear our voice on in just a little bit here for the Glasgow Crit, and it'll be a ton of fun. So, Dave, we'll see you in a little bit. Everybody who's watching, make sure to hit those follows, likes, do all that fun stuff. You can catch us here live in about an hour for the Glasgow Crit exhibition race with Zwift and Metier Experience. Right on.